You're watching Nine's continuing coverage of Queensland's flood disaster. The information so far, the death toll from the floods has reached 3 this morning, with the body of a motorcyclist discovered at Greenbank, southwest of Brisbane. He was swept from a flooded bridge last night. There are fears flooding in the Lockyer Valley will be worse than the 2011 disaster. Residents in low-lying areas have been warned to leave. Bundaberg is bracing for its worst flood on record, and New South Wales is now in the path of the storm as the weather system tracks south. And we have also had word through from the Premier that in Queensland at least, a school which is due to start back tomorrow, if your school has not been flooded, then school is in, students, so you will have to head back tomorrow. But of course, extra care for drivers. It's going to be a busy morning out there tomorrow. Well, we have got reporters across Queensland for this unfolding weather crisis. Tessa Scott is at the Hinds Dam, which supplies most of the water to the Gold Coast. And she has this report on how the levels are rising on such an incredible rate due to this intense weather system.
This is the first time since the Hinds Dam has been upgraded that it's reached 100% capacity and started spilling over. Now you can hear the roar of water behind me there. It's still very windy around here. It's come up very fast. It was at 92% just yesterday, but it's quickly reached capacity and started spilling over about 11 o'clock. Now that's because the rain has come down from the hinterland and run off into the dam. Now council says at the moment there are no threats to home downstream. They say by the time this water reaches the Nerang River, it will be quickly sucked out to the seaway and out to sea, and they say the worst of the rain is behind us now. Now the dam was designed to spill over like this after it was given a $500 million upgrade. The Hinds is closed to the public today because of all this debris around, but if you want to see and hear this spectacle for yourself, it could be open tomorrow. Just keep checking the SEQ Water website.
Yeah, it's incredible. There is just so much water everywhere. And of course, it is now heading south. Amelia, back to you.
Thank you, Melissa. Well, as you say, it is severe and it is heading our way, and it's already made its way into northern New South Wales, where SES workers have received hundreds of calls for help today. Nine's Tom Steinford is in Coffs Harbour and filed this report.
Well, parts of northern New South Wales are now underwater, and it's not hard to see why when you have a look at the conditions that we're facing up here at the moment. It's been like this for the last 24 hours or so. Wild and woolly. The wind's been coming in at about up to 130 kilometres an hour. The rain is just non-stop. This is actually probably the lightest it's been all morning, what we're experiencing right now. The conditions are expected to worsen through the day. For the next 24 hours, that's the worrying time for northern New South Wales. We're in Coffs Harbour. They've been sandbagging here for a day or so. The worry now is that it's going to continue to head south to places like Sydney. The other thing to consider when you look over at this area here is that today is also the highest tide for New South Wales of the year. So you've got these rivers that are overflowing and they're coming down into the ocean that's already lapping back into it. So that's going to push these rivers back upstream and force further flooding again. Places like Grafton, also inland at Bellingen, they're going to have a lot of issues later in the day. And as I say, this rain, it's not going anywhere. Some really nervous times ahead for New South Wales.
And we'll get an update now on what is happening right across the north of the state. Nine's Natalia Cooper is at SES headquarters in Wollongong. Natalia, good morning. Bring us up to speed. What is happening?
Look, good morning, Amelia. I've just had an update from the SES that there is a rescue operation underway in northern New South Wales. There are 4 people trapped in a car, so I will have more information on that throughout the day as I get it to hand. Now, look, there's major flooding right across the northern parts of New South Wales. 2,000 people are isolated from floodwaters. Now, the major areas of concern are Bellingen and Coffs Harbour. They've been hit hard, and of course the floodwaters are still rising. Look, levels aren't expected to peak until sometime tomorrow. Now, the Pacific Highway has also been closed at South Grafton, and I've been told that evacuations are likely at some point today. Amelia.
Talia, we're hearing a lot about the deluge that is headed for Sydney. What is in store?
Yes, look, tonight is when the worst of the weather is expected, from about midnight through until 6 a.m. That's a bit later than first expected. A severe weather warning has been issued, so falls of up to 200 metres are likely, and we could be looking at flash flooding as well, and some very strong wind gusts up around the 100 km/h mark. And already we're seeing quite wild surf conditions along the coast. So coastal areas are expected to be worst hit. Among the worst hit areas are going to be Ku-ring-gai, Hornsby and and at the Sutherland Shire. Amelia.
All right, Natalie, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you for the update. We're getting lots of photos into our newsroom via email and Twitter as this flood emergency unfolds. And this one shows the wild conditions in Toowoomba. Several homes there have been damaged by falling trees. Some fences have been completely destroyed. We'll take a short break now and we'll be back soon with more on the floods.